Hey, what is shaking, everyone? I was expecting an intro and didn't get it. I think we're live, guys. What's up, everybody? What's shaking, man? Thank you for joining us here on Surface Noise, the B-side. We got a great crew for you today. A little trio right now, a little trio. We might get a quartet before the night is through. The bat signal has been lit, but we'll see what happens. So for now, we got Groove Seeker. Chris, what's up, baby?
Are we live?
Yes.
I'm just kidding. What's up, guys?
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh no, where's the intro? Shout out if we're live. Make some noise. Make some noise if you can see us. By the way, thank you, Dimebag Dave. Looking forward to this one. This is going to be a fun one. Chris, doing fine, I take it?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How you guys doing?
We're live. I would always pride on not being one of those streams where it's like you sit there and go, are we live? Are we live? And you're kind of looking around to make sure. Like, I just assume we are flying high and tight. And we are, says AA and Spin Doctor. Thanks, you guys. Yes, we aren't all dead. Jason Rojas in that. Oh, I like the spelling. Is that a typo or is that just some artistic way of spelling Jason right there?
It's just funny code speak. That's all.
Oh, right. I got you, Jason. Okay.
Oh, Jason. Yeah. Even I knew that.
I should know that.
Silly wink, you know.
It's annoying when people use that at work, right? And you always think that, for one split second, you're like, are you referring to me? Oh, never mind.
Well, it's just when somebody wants me to help them with their, JSON extraction, then I, just remember like, oh yeah, that's what you want, right? JSON.
Watch out when you start talking about JSON extraction. I'm not playing that game with you, man.
Rojas, when you make your folk album and I produce it for you, are you going to title all the songs in all lowercase like all the kids do now?
They'll be all titled after Taylor Swift albums.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about that. Yeah, my fault.
Are you promoting his new record or what's going on there?
Yeah,
we're working on it now. I got the first demo. I like what I'm hearing. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, let me.
I was once gonna make an album out of people's like album titles where they made no album song from the title, right? So there was a song I wrote called "Silk Degrees" after Boz Scaggs' record. You see where this is going?
I do.
It was actually very good. I think I had this melody and I put it under an alternate account. You won't be able to find it, but it's somewhere in SoundCloud. But I could have sworn that St. Vincent heard it and she ripped off me in the melody for it.
Rough.
So,
man, you gotta copyright that stuff immediately.
Sure.
You just never know. Shout out AA Spin Doctor, music in the house. Jason Arsenault is here. Howdy. David Nelms in the house. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Okay, so we got a fun show. Came across my table a fax that there's this company by the name of the Electric Company, and they used to have a TV show in the 70s where they would show Spider-Man cartoons. Sorry, not Electric Company, Electric Record Company puts out these. Guys, I got to provide my own. Do you see the straight faces? Look, do you see these straight faces? You guys froze. Anyway, Electric Record Company, a Grateful Dead song called Europe 72. You guys may have heard of it. It's right there. They are reissuing it. Pre-orders are live now. Jump on that website because there's only going to be 450 of them. And you're going to get US dollars. Just drop $750 and you get to claim your Grateful Dead Europe 72. That stood out to me when I saw that fax come across my table, and I was like, that sounds like an interesting topic. To me, that sounds like that gets beyond audiophile. That gets beyond HQ, whatever you want to label it. And I thought, man, this is a luxury item at this point, right? I mean, this is the Ferrari of records, I think. This is the Gucci bag of records, in my opinion. So I thought, let's talk about it, and maybe we can even spin it into a little conversation of comparing a luxury vinyl versus cheap heat, which is a phrase that's been popping up too lately. So first off, anyone on the panel own an ERC record?
Silent. I used to.
You used to?
Yes.
Let's hear the story.
I used to own the ERC of, oh my gosh, the Vashti Bunyan record, which is a folk record, UK folk record. It is probably one of the most rare records, just in collecting, right? Because it did not sell. She is a peer of Nick Drake and Donovan and that whole kind of folk scene. So if you're really into that kind of folk, rock, well, it's not really rock, it's just folk.
You said Vashti Bunyan, right?
Yes. Do you
Just
know that
Another
record?
Diamond Day.
Yes. It's beautiful. I mean, that song in itself just, I've yet to, well, did he just drop?
Bye, Chris.
If you're not like familiar, like it's kind of like nursery rhyme melodies, but very simple, music about getting back into the folk, the country, basically, back to the country in a way.
A little something like that.
So that thing, if you remember, if you know anything about ERCs, like they sell at a list price, I think of like what, 400, 300?
For like a single
Pounds?
LP, right? That's going to be their
Correct.
single LP price.
Correct. So, I mean, the gist here, as you can see here, is there's like a limited edition of 300, right? They do not repress.
ERC will not undertake a repress of any release at any future point. So when you see 300, you know you're getting 300.
Right. So the thing about the ERC process, if you guys are not familiar, or if the people in the chat are not familiar, what they're doing is getting the tape, right? They're running it through their tube lacquer system, right, to cut it, right? There's no EQ, there's no compression. So, I mean, in my opinion, I say it's the gimmick, but what they do is you're paying to get closer to the tape, right? That's the deal here. The other ERC that I owned was the Gil Scott-Heron album. I think it was his second record.
Pieces of a Man.
Yes, which is an amazing record. I think The Revolution won't be televised. It's on that.
Yep.
And I think Lady Day, right, I think is on that
Yep.
as well.
And I think
then
is Detroit on there too.
I think Hatred is Where the Home Is. Is that also on there?
I think so.
So to your point, here we are, covers the Electric Recording Company. Here's the claim. Here's the secret sauce, right? Officially sanctioned heritage pressings master from the original analog master tapes. So far, we get that promise from a lot of these reissue companies. But cut in true mono and stereo using 1950s EMI valve tape machines and an Audiophile DS522, mono cutter head, and Audiophile DS601 stereo cutter head. So that's the thing, right? They're using this 50s vintage equipment, I guess, right? With the lathe and to take transfer that tape onto a piece of wax or onto a, mother or whatever it is. Handcrafted sleeve artwork, faithfully recreated using a vintage letterpress procedure. Cool. Released in strict limited individual and numbered copies, which we talked about. So that's kind of their deal, right?
Right. You're getting tube, right? You're getting, right there, like from the original analog tapes. This could be an ad for Rhino High's Reserves, or even an ad for MoFi, or even an ad for Acoustic Productions.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Except for the, I don't know, do those guys use vintage gear to transfer their tapes? I don't know, but that's the one thing that kind of stands out to me.
Well, none of these companies are ever going to tell you, right? Like all the secrets, right? Other than MoFi, right? Which we found out, like they're just copying the tape onto a machine, and it's going to the DSD step, as I say.
Well, so that's a great thing. I actually wanted to point that out for people, and just to kind of maybe stir some things up in the chat and amongst us. Is this the kind of a we're not MoFi kind of a deal, right? Because this is pure analog that's going on here.
Sure. If you're buying into it, you know what I'm saying? All these companies are using those same words, like I said earlier, like with the ERC, you're paying to get closer to the tape, right? Now, whether that sounds good or not, that's dependent on you, right? the listener, but is very expensive, right? And I'm pretty sure licensing any of these albums and getting the tape, if it's not a tape copy, right, that's a big deal, right? They're paying the licensing to probably press what, maybe 400 or 500 at the most, selling maybe 3, and then you have maybe 100 promo, like 50 promo, 50 replacement copies. That's my guess. You see what I'm saying?
You mean for returns and stuff?
Of course.
Yeah. Ooh, man, you get a scene split on one of these, and Chris is gonna lose his mind.
Well, they're notorious for that.
Really?
It's been some of the big complaints historically in the VC is seam splits, misprints on the jackets. Like I think Mike from the In-Groove showed he had like a record jacket that was like filled in with Sharpie.
You mean he did the
what?
Sharpie? Just kidding.
Or yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was gonna buy one of these, but they lost me an Audiophile cutting head, so I was like, man, I'm just kidding.
Get out.
I tried for the Gil Scott Heron and missed it, and then I tried for the Love, and then I used to just try for speculation.
And what
And
were
then,
the prices on those? Those were in the $400 range.
Yeah, like the 354. But if you look at the resale value on a lot of these, I think there's like one record. It's one of the folk records sells for like under retail.
Oh, really?
Everything else sells like probably like at least $100 over
Well,
retail.
yeah. I'm gonna show a couple as we go along here.
Well, I also, outside of that folk record that Jason's talking about, I mean, and to me, some of the classical stuff, I think one other folk record, and I forgot the name, escapes me. It was so long ago. They're not pressing albums that aren't getting repressed. Like they're doing some pretty common titles.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
not to jump, but it's like Jason kind of pulled out the one exception, right? Or maybe the one of a couple. But like most of these, as we'll go through the list, the history of these records, and a lot of them are pretty easy to pick up, OGs for a fair amount of money.
Well, I also, if I had more money, I would just buy these. Why not? But I don't have that kind of money to spend on one record all the time. It would be interesting to have them for like a comparison standpoint. I guess Jason's been lucky enough to have a couple of these, and I'm sure he got a chance to compare the Gil Scott Heron. Was it close to the OG? Was it?
No, absolutely not. Now, I don't know if you want to go in there. You want to talk about this?
Well, yeah, I do want to get into it, but before you do, I want to make sure I let people know. I want to tease because you're bringing up a good point already in terms of like what you would buy, what you wouldn't buy. We are going to play a game at the end of the show. We're going to get into would you rather. I'm going to share the link, and you guys are going to get to play along. We have leaderboards and all that stuff. There's going to be a lot of the questions that I think have already kind of come up about this stuff that we're going to put you guys to the test and let you guys play along. So I just want to say that. So stick around. I'll share the link. Probably, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Maybe a quarter till the hour, maybe top of the hour. And then we'll jump into a little game of would you rather, luxury vinyl versus cheap heat edition. So yeah, Jay, go for it.
Before we go into it, can you just show shout out to Lovo Andrew? Can you just show his comment real quick? And then I'll answer that.
Uh-oh.
He's asking, I heard the ERC screwed up the doors in the last one. I don't know, like, if they really screwed up the doors. Maybe the tape isn't good. Like, if you heard that Doors Rhino, like, that tape sounds bad. Like, if that's from the tape, then the tape is deteriorated. Like, I would not even go use that tape anymore, Just call it what it is, right? You got to go digital on it. There's no choice.
Michael Tedder too. Let me shout out a couple comments here. So for $750, would you rather buy a good condition LZ2 RL? Good question. Who knows? Maybe a similar question will come up in the game later. Vinyl and kick.
That would be a good dinner for all of us at Peter Luger's Steakhouse in New York, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. And you still have money left over to buy a better cut than the RL.
Oh.
Okay, hold on.
Ouch. Oh.
ERC.
Hey, some in the VC think that Jimmy Page's remasters are better, so you never know.
Hey, I'm one of those people. ERC are ridiculously overpriced, says Vinyl and Kicks. Let's see. Doesn't Kevin Gray use an all tube system? Anyone know? Anyone?
Yes, I think he's. I mean, if it's true, then he's only using it for his projects. He's not using it for his jobs, remastering jobs, right? Cutting jobs.
Well, he did the War though, right? That was like a big deal.
Oh, okay. That
War's
didn't
greatest
sound
hits.
good. I never did the comparison, but if you send me your copy, we will.
I don't have his.
Okay.
Bring it to New York. All right. Me, myself, and my vinyl. The question of the century? Does all analog guarantee a great sounding record? Jason, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, in this today's age, you'd hope in the 21st century that the digital could match the analog. I mean, otherwise, might as well be living in bedrock, right? I cut my records in bedrock. Might as well go back.
I have a question though.
Bedrock, like the Flintstones, where they were the
Right.
the Flintstones.
Barney
live?
Rubble.
Okay.
Barney Rubble's cutting your records. Might as well.
And you have a
Are
little pterodactyl that plays the records for you with his beak.
Oof.
Of course.
It's an Audiophile beak.
There you go. Right.
Is ERC overpriced if they sell out?
Yes, because it's a supply and demand thing, right? You're going on the fact that the price, right? It's what do you call it? I don't know if I should go there. Should I go there psychologically? Should I go there?
Yeah, I think you should. I think if something sells out, then the price might be wrong.
Right. It's sort of a justifying. If I'm paying $100 for a record, am I saying I'm paying $100 because it's the best sounding record, or am I trying to justify because I paid $100 for it? Do you see these things?
Yeah.
These are two separate things here, right?
And if they made 1,000, would they be 200 instead of 350?
Correct. I think out of all of the ERCs, I think a couple of the early jazz, the Terry Callier one, and the Vashti are the ones that are high in money, right?
Yeah.
Like, if ERC chooses a title that is completely rare, right? The original is rare, right? And then they decide to cut it. I mean, I hate to say it, like, then you could probably play that investment card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one, right? Like,
Well, yeah, Vinyl Dreamscape. Let me just tee it up quickly. I like to hear their version of the Stooges, and Just Another Diamond Day record is nearly impossible record to find. So here it is, and you can see these are going now for over $700. You have an original Stooges, do you not? Funhouse, Jay?
Yeah, I do. I actually heard the ERC at a mutual friend's place in New York. Does it sound any better? It sounded different, in my opinion. I think because there was no mastering on this record, it definitely did sound louder. I think the bass was more up. But like, does it beat an original? I don't know. That's like opinion. Like, to me, I almost like caved in and bought that one, but then I don't know. Like
the point that I like you bringing up about comparing it to original would be like this right here. An original Europe 72. This is the one that kind of spawned this conversation. They're reissuing this for triple LP from ERC. They're taking pre-orders now, around $750 US for this. This is an original, which would probably set you back in a VG Plus around, I'm guessing, $70 to $80, something like that. And then, you can buy an affordable reissue in the $40 to $50 range. I was listening to this, a little Cumberland Blues, right before the show, and it's beautiful. And it sounds great. It has a beautiful stereo stage, and it's set up exactly like a live show would have been. You hear Jerry on the left, you hear Bobby on the right, you hear Phil in the middle, and it's beautiful. And the thing that's coming to mind is I love that so much because I've been listening to it for 50 years. You know what I mean? And I love it because when I hear it, I hear what I'm expecting to hear, which is the same beautiful music I've been listening to for decades. And my fear is that it doesn't matter if it's better for a record like this. because it's going to sound different from this. And this is the one that takes me back. Like, this is the one that gets me, it gets me thinking nostalgically, and it brings back all those great moments in time when I was listening to this. And so if they do it different, I don't care if they fix one note. I don't care if they, turn up the bass by, a tenth of a decibel or whatever it is. It's going to take me out of that experience. So when you start talking about,
Go ahead. You go.
Well, no, I'll just wrap up and then and hand it off to you, because I just think you're making the point. An OG versus the something like this $800 ERC isn't even necessarily whether the original's better per se. It's fine, but it's the one that I know and love. You know what I mean? Now, another title I might have a different opinion, but for this, I just got to have the OG, and it's not that expensive. So sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
BC devil's advocate. All right. So
yes.
If you're watching in the chat, are you ready? Spins, who is your favorite Dead member on Europe 72? And don't say Donna Gottschalk. Do not say that.
Well, I mean, I got to pick Jerry. I mean, Jerry,
Okay. So Jerry. So now if the ERC somehow in the tape magically gets more Jerry, and we start seeing reviews saying, oh my gosh, best thing ever, best version of Europe 72. You hear more Jerry, Jerry this, Jerry heaven, Deadhead's paradise. How would you feel?
I wouldn't care.
Okay.
And I'm being honest. It's just, I'm not looking for another one of these. It's like in my mind, it's locked it down already. You know what I mean? So, and I don't know, do we all feel that way about certain records, or is there always an opening for something better to come along? When it comes to this record, there's not. Like, it's locked down. I don't care. Like, you can do whatever you want with it, and it's just it will be different. Jerry sounds great, Bobby sounds great, because the stereo of mix of this, the mastering of this record is so good, in my opinion. Everyone sounds great. Like, I don't need anything to sound necessarily better. And again, it's a specific case, but because we're talking about Europe 72, that's just how I feel about it. So
all the 72 tapes sound really good. All those shows sound great.
Yeah, if you watch the documentary, the series that they did on Netflix, they talk a lot about that, and just how, those tapes were, they came prepared for that year, and that, they want to put out that record, and they recorded everything, and that's why now you can go out and buy every show that they did in 1972 and stuff. It was nice that they put that kind of pride into it, because it pays off. It shows in the original. Let's see what else. Any questions here? They reissued. So they say they reissued that last year, I think, if not the year before. Are you talking about ERC? Anyone know? Did they already do the Europe 72, guys?
No. Rhino did Skull and Roses and Europe 72 within the past couple of years. The Vinyl Me Please box set has it.
Gotcha.
It's actually that VMP cut, believe it or not, the OG's out the window for me.
Really?
I thought it was,
Really blows it away, you said?
Yeah, that box set's really good. That box set doesn't get enough love. I think it doesn't get enough love from an audio standpoint because it's a Grateful Dead box set, and people think that the hype is because of the artist, but that box set's really nice. That was before VMP hit the skids.
Is that the box set where they did like 5 studio and 5 live records or something like that?
They did 72 Live Dead, Reckoning, Without a Net, Working Man's, Beauty, and one other. Can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, who listens to Studio Dead anyway?
What are you talking about? Get out of here.
I do.
Maybe 2 of those albums.
Blues for Allah, man. That's a great one, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Just don't.
That?
You got to know about halfway through side 2. You got to lift up the needle. That's all.
Yeah.
I
Call
tell you
it
that
a day.
story. I was in Red Hook in New York. I was having a few beers with my friend, and he wanted to see what I bought, like a stack of records from the day. And he's looking through, and then he sees Blues for Allah, and he goes, Jason, friends don't let friends buy Dead records.
Oh,
It's like, oh man, oof.
it's cold.
So I guess we're not friends anymore then.
It's hilarious. I was just cracking up.
That's funny.
Man.
Yeah, Vinyl and Kicks, Europe 72, great album. Me, myself, and my vinyl were 50 years later, and Europe 72 is still relevant. Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. Wake of the Flood, probably my favorite Dead studio album is Vinyl and Kicks. Yeah, it's a great one, man. I mean, look, I think the whole, and again, we don't have to go down this rabbit hole or anything, but as long as we're talking about the Dead, and you mentioned it, Chris, it's like, I think the live albums are so much better, and the studio albums are unplayable. It's kind of overblown. I don't think that I get it. I think there's a whole sort of contingency of Grateful Dead fans that, love Live Dead, and I'm right there with them. The other thing that's interesting is if you listen to their original issued live albums, like Europe 72, Skull and Roses, the one they did at Radio City Music Hall, which I can't think of the name of right now.
Reckoning.
Well, Reckoning is the acoustic, and then I can't think of it. The electric one that they did. I feel like I have to grab it now. Dead Set.
Oh, Dead Set. Yeah. Is that Nassau or is that Radio City? I thought it was Nassau.
No. Yeah, this is they did a movie from this.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is that the way those are structured isn't like a Grateful Dead show. They're very much pulling from, shows or cutting it down, just playing the songs. Dead Set does have a section where I think they have drums and maybe a little space. And so they're trying to give you that Grateful Dead experience, but it's not as if it's an uncut live show or something like that, which is a different experience. And maybe that's, I think what people are in love with, that got to see him live with Jerry. Like myself, no big deal.
Are you a defender of their studio stuff because you just can't live without Shakedown Street in France? Is that what the deal is? Or
yeah,
is
absolutely.
You
That's
like
the one.
Lowell George's worst performance as a musical genius ever was producing that album.
How dare you?
You can't tell me you can't tell me like a studio version of like Shakedown Street over a live version. That's just
no,
insane.
I don't. Well, you're pulling out like Shakedown Street, and like the two you just mentioned are going to be ones that are, those are later era. In fact, those are the ones that really kind of reinvigorated the Grateful Dead for a whole era, a whole generation.
You can say
the Turtles, man. They're all about the Turtles Dead, right? And no hate. But it's just a different
Turtles Dead. I thought you were saying you can go there if you want to call it Disco Dead. It's okay.
You don't want to talk about Prog Dead? You don't want to talk about Prog Dead, Terrapin Station? You want to talk about that?
I like Terrapin Station.
That one's funny. Jose and I were like talking about that one like quite a bit, just like Prog Dead,
Prog Dead. Ugh.
Kraut Dead.
That's right.
Let me show, since now I don't want to keep having to defend the Grateful Dead now. So let's go. Let me show the list of ERC titles.
Right,
they're no fish, but they're good.
Yeah.
I don't even, dude.
So you guys don't own any. You guys don't own any ERCs, right? But
no.
So what questions do you have on it? Like, since I've owned two.
Here, let's while we're asking, let me bring up the list here. This will show people kind of what the titles are, and all of these are sold out, right? You got to grab these on the secondary market, but
go ahead. This is the first time I've seen one that isn't sold out already. These are gone within a day.
Usually, yes.
Usually, this is the first one I've seen ever that I can remember.
Probably because the title and the price point, right? And again, this is my opinion on this right here. Like, the ERC attracts a different kind of buyer, right? Now, if they threw this, like if the Dead had promoted this, I'm pretty sure this baby would have sold out immediately,
Well, they're not promoting it.
And there you go. So Bob, dear Bob Weir, just call me, bro. I'm ready.
If you want to send me one,
even Jackie White promoted the White Stripes one, hardcore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, we got Third Man email. Third Man email came out. Go to this site. Blah blah blah.
So yeah, they did the Doors. self-titled.
Oh,
So it's a wide variety. It's right. It's everything from classical to 60s and 70s rock to jazz to blues. And they just kind of hand pick. Here's the other thing I want to ask, and I know that Europe 72 it's a great recorded live album, but it's still a live album. Like, it's interesting to me that they're putting the effort into, I don't know what, into putting together a $750 version of a live record. Do you guys have any thoughts on that, or it doesn't matter to you?
Well, like I said, the price point is what, 300-400, and that's for one LP, right? Now we're
Right.
talking about 3 LPs here,
Yep.
right? And they're saying it's about 700, right? So, are you getting a deal if you're a regular ERC shopper? Yes, in a way, but I don't know. I think the high price point, like, it's just different, right? So it's sort of hanging there. But
Man, some of these.
they've all usually sold out. Like, can you show Vinyl Piper? Shout out to Vinyl Piper if you're watching, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
His
Just
comment.
quickly to Chris's point, like Lights Out, Mobley's Message, a lot of these jazz albums have gotten reissues for like $40, and they sound beautiful. Like, I have the Lights Out that got put out in the Prestige series. That I can't remember who put that out, but it's amazing. It's a beautiful sounding and looking record.
It may sound beautiful, but it ain't no ERC beautiful.
It ain't no ERC. Oh, you're talking about this
Jason.
one right here? Shout out
Yep.
Vinyl Piper, by the way. It's
The
too
one above
expensive for
that.
3 LPs. The one above that?
Yep. Where he's talking about that he has the Stooges.
I have the
Love.
ERC Stooges and Love LPs. I like them. I also have promos of the OGs and common reissues. It's great. We have options to waste our money. Who needs retirement?
Vinyl Piper.
Coming in clutch. Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's the thing too about this, right? And I called it a luxury. I don't want to go so far as to call it a vanity record, but it's definitely these are luxury records. I mean, this is for the person that's not driving a Toyota. It's all contextual and relative, but this is the Ferrari of vinyl, right? I mean, this is the Gucci bag of vinyl. It's like, if you have the money, sure, spend it. I mean, Groove Seeker, you were saying, like, hey, if I have the money, like, I just buy all these. They're going to sound great. Obviously, well, that was going to be my next question is, would you be upgrading your system, or do you feel like you have a system that can contain these amazing records?
I think my table would do just fine.
You got a nice table for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's not no Audiophile, but it's good.
It's not an Audiophile. It's not an Audio Technica.
No Audiophile,
Groove Seeker. It's not about the table. It's about the tip, the needle.
the tip, right? Yeah, it's not no Audiophile tip, but it's okay.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm not making people dizzy by scrolling that quickly. But so there it is. Grateful Dead. I mean, coming soon.
Well, I have a question for Jason on this. So how different, I understand their process, I think, like from a basic standpoint, like how different is a non-EQ tape through a tube system? Like how does that shape the sound on these records?
A good example is the Gil Scott Heron. The original sounds a bit balanced, right? The ERC actually, without that mastering EQ or compression, it actually boosts up the bass. Now, I felt that was wrong. Why? The album is called the album is called Gil Scott Heron, Pieces of a Man. It's not the Gil Scott Heron band, right?
Right.
You're buying a Gil Scott Heron, of course, to get into the mood of the music, but also to listen to his words, his music, and his vocal delivery, right? So, whoa, Funhouse in the wrong speed? Or it's in the right speed and you have the wrong turntable.
Or the original was in the wrong speed.
Right, man.
Well, that's what I was kind of curious about, Rojas, and I like that you use that example, because as soon as you boost the low end on a record like that, you don't want anything to outshine the vocal delivery. in the words on that record. So that's what I'm curious about. I wonder what that feels like. And you said the Stooges bass was boosted too. Also not a record I don't think you want the bass boosted on.
Right. I mean, no offense to David Alexander, who was the bass player for the Stooges, right? But the highlight of the record, you're buying it is for Iggy. You're buying it for Ron Ashton and the pummeling drums of Scott Ashton. This is what you're getting. And then I think who's the guy? Scott something, right? When he was playing the sax. Oh man, at the end, get out of here! Like you want to hear that?
I'd be curious. I'd be curious to hear The Love. I think that was one I really wanted to get and didn't get, or at least try to get.
Yeah,
I was almost going to get one, but it didn't work out, and that's okay. I think I needed the money in Den Bosch, right, to look at records, not just to blow it on one record, right?
Well, it's the thing. It's that or like 40 other records. I mean, I like Unity OC. If I have the money for ERC releases, I'd go reel to reel instead. That's a good point. Tap Records is going to wait for these to show up in Goodwill. Stranger things have happened.
Terry, no. Shout out to Tap Records, Terry, but man, that's wild.
Woo.
You know?
Man, could you imagine, dude? That would be like better than Christmas. Pat's Radio, even if you don't have the money, spend it. Well, look, I mean, a lot of people get rich by pretending they're poor, and a lot of people go poor by pretending they're rich, right? And so you're going to have people that are going to be like, oh, I have to have this. You know, they're going to FOMO out and go ahead and say, yeah, you know, if I'm a little late on the mortgage, no big deal, you know, or something like that. So,
So I think Arnaldo sent this to me yesterday. He's like, if you're interested and have $900. So I like looked at it real quick and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could spec on this, you know, make a few hundred off of it. And then when I went on today and it was still there, I was like, oh, this would be bad. I'd be stuck with this. There's no way this is it's going to sell out, but I don't think it's going to be flippable.
Well, you're not planning it right, so you buy it. Or you buy two, right? I'm going to give you the technique. Are you ready? This is the technique. You would buy it. Then you would go on Discogs and the Steve Hoffman forums. You would claim that this was the best sounding version, and then you would say that anyone who had tried to say otherwise, you would attack them senselessly, right? You know? You would just like, no, your hearing is lost, you know, like you're just gripping onto OG nostalgia, you know. The shiny new ERC reissue is the best and one and only, right? All the while, you're going to be cashing in that ERC promo check that they sent you quietly.
Yeah, I was going to say, they need I can only do that if you get promos of it.
just claim it's warped, and then they won't make you return it, and they'll just send you a new one.
Oh, my gosh.
Oof.
Spin Doctor, that's again the question of the century. Is the sound really worth that much more? I mean, that's the thing, right? We're talking about the difference between a $70 OG and a 10X for something that probably will sound about the same, right? I mean, if they're just taking the original tape and they're not tweaking it,
Let me say something.
the lathe is going to have that much impact, Jay? Is that what you're telling me with a straight face?
I mean, Spin Doctor has like a really good question. Now let's go deeper. The Vashti Bunyan, that is a rare record. Like if you look it up on Discogs now, there's none for sale. The last that I've sold have always been over $1,000. Now, the audiophile system that they use, what? Oh no. But
Mark
then
Boyd,
Terry,
another great comment.
But Terry, you did tackle him and then run off with the dead record, right? And then hid in the bathroom. Just kidding, Terry. Don't do that. But the Spin Doctor, like for some reason, like I have to say, like for that Vashti, it really got into the master tape of it, and it pinpointed this sort of weird, I guess, some tape error or something wrong with the tape in one of the songs on the B-side, like one of her big songs, and I didn't really think about it until my friend called me up because he also bought the ERC and he was asking me to listen to it, right? So like he woke me up in the middle of the night, calls me about a record. Like this is what my life, part of my life, real life is, right? Did you hear that tape error? Like you're kidding, right? And at the time I had the other Vashti reissue. I didn't have the original, you know? So I compared them both like maybe 5 times. And I could hear that there was some sort of tape edit error, you know? And it wasn't really noticeable in the reissue, but since the ERC process or the cutting lathe got more info, I was able to hear the edit or the poor splice more.
But in the
That's
in
just
the
so
liner
far in the
notes,
weeds.
in the liner notes on the ERC, did it say it was the artist's intent? That's why they kept the error.
Well, let me see here.
Maybe somebody slammed their fist on the table. You know, it's a record of someone's emotion
my
that get
gosh,
pulled
I can't
into
believe
that
you're-
moment, man. I love Pat's Radio. These records are marketed to those who don't typically have to ask these questions. Absolutely. No audiophiles are going to be asking questions. They're just going to be telling you how great these things are, right?
Of course, because you've just paid $400 or $500 for them. Of course, you're going to say it sounds good. Otherwise, woo, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah, I need a blind A/B test on this stuff. That's what it comes down
well,
to.
EA, maybe you're that guy. That'll be your thing, man. You got a YouTube channel wide open, an open book. You have a market ready for the taking. Come on, man. Put your money where your mouth is, Group Seeker.
So,
I may for the price of this record. Sorry, Ross. My last thing here. For the price of this record, you can get a really nice DAC and
for
listen
the
to Europe
price of this
72.
record,
And you
You're
can
gonna
listen
get-
to Europe 72 on Tidal.
Oh,
for this price of this record, we can have a good time at Peter Luger's
Peter
Steakhouse
Luger's.
in New York. Best steak, and we can all get salads with chopped tomato on it, you know?
Yes.
for the price
Finely
of this
chopped.
for the price of this record, we'll be seeing you guys at WFMU in New York in November. That's my teaser. That's my teaser. We'll get into
Can
it
you-
more, but
Spins, can you show Rev's comment, Rev Rock and Rollin'? He's got one of the funniest comments on this chat. So shout out to you, Rev. The-
Oh, that's great.
Go
That's
ahead.
really
Who
funny.
wants to read it? For our audio listeners,
The ERC is remastered for divorce.
absolutely. Brought to
question
you
for
by
Rev.
Divorce.
Question to Rev: are you going to get that DSD step in that remastered divorce? Ouch.
That needs to be the name of this record company. Divorce Records. Electric, recording, whatever. I don't know. Put divorce in there somehow.
Has anybody interviewed the founder
Of
or like the main of ERC?
interviewed him.
Or
I do not know about that.
Cesar has a
Maybe-
question for you, Jay. Does the ERC album still need a spin through the humdinger to take it to these grail levels, or you need a Star Wars ultrasonic cleaner to get to that level? Which one is it, Jay?
So it's funny. So welcome, Cesar. When my friend pointed out that issue in the ERC, like he was asking me if I cleaned it on my VPI, if it was just something wrong with the record or was it actually, in the record, meaning like it was a tape edit, right?
Yeah, AKA the humdinger.
Correct. And you don't have to clean it, honestly. It actually comes great. But I don't know. Like if I've heard stories of, issues with some ERCs and they'll gladly take it back, and send you a new one. No problem.
Final Piper says it's magical when you are unboxing a ERC rock title, unwrapping the wrapping paper, cleaning the record, and then putting down the needle. I can imagine, man. I always like when I get a new iPhone or something. My MacBook Pro comes for the first time. They do a great job of getting you excited about the unboxing of it.
So have you seen like those unboxing? I don't think too many people have done an unboxing of an ERC.
I haven't seen them.
well,
Okay.
Espo did one, right?
Yes. So the thing is, the record, right? When you open it in this huge box, right? It's a huge box, and then there's like 6 cardboard or 5 or 4 on the top, and then 4 of it on the bottom. You see what I'm saying? And the whole thing is wrapped in like plastic wrap, So you're like opening this prized possession, right? Your heart is racing, and then of course I think there's some sort of like rice paper on covering the record, right? And then the record is, what do you call it, like under a laminate or something, like a fold over laminate. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Someone in the chat can correct me, but it's all professionally done, and well curated. Like they're not going to, for now, ERC's not going to do a 50 Cent Yes record, They're not going to do Tormato. Let's just be honest here.
Felipe is going to let me buy him a beer when I make it to New York. Hey, This will be my first time in New York, so I'll buy anybody that wants a beer. I'm gonna go broke going to doing this anyway. So what's the difference? I didn't say I was ever gonna make it back home. Like, this is a one-way trip for me.
Used to be this really good beer place what's it in New York? The Ginger Man or the Gingerbread Man? Did you know that?
Ginger,
place?
yeah, it's gone. They were like the
Oh
first ones
my.
that had all the micro brews and everything. They went out of business.
I used to go there while waiting for the train at Grand Central. Oh my gosh.
Little dogfish 120 on tap. Forget about it.
I would ask what they had on the cask, and they'd be like, we're out. But then they were like, we remember you. We'll get this extra one out. For me? Like, yes.
They just drop a keg on top of your table and you just
Sure.
boom.
It was so good. Oh my gosh. I have great memories there.
I think Jill's Music Corner has the mic drop right there. That's too much for vinyls.
True.
Just not gonna do it. Well, what do you guys think? I mean, so I don't know. I mean, this has actually carried us through almost a whole hour. This has been fun. Originally I thought, well, I mean, can we I don't know, compare this to what's the opposite of this, right? I mean, can you still get good value without spending $800? Like, are there any series that you can think of? If can I walk in and buy a Europe 72 off the shelf at Walmart, for example, and still enjoy it?
If you buy that reissue, right, the Plan Gent, which is what, $46 maybe? Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hate to say it, like $40 for a record, that's a luxury item,
For I mean, you're finding all your stuff in the dollar bin.
Well, not all the time. No. Sometimes you get lucky, but then other times you may have to pony up. I mean, when I talked about that Beck.
Oh, right.
That Beck record, Midnight Vultures, like, again, that was never going to be a dollar record,
Yep.
That's my big takeaway is I think unless you're kind of thrifting, and I don't mean that in a negative way, like records are a luxury item because having one is a novelty or having 10 is a novelty for people. But having hundreds or thousands, the multiplier makes it a luxury item. They're expensive.
Right.
New records are expensive. And the price of used records, if you find what you're really looking for, can be very expensive too. Unless you're just going to grab whatever you can grab for, a few dollars, then you're not really taking it to like the hobby part of it. It's more of like a fun thing, which is great too. There's plenty of people that do that, but I think all in all, and the equipment is luxury. Some of this equipment's expensive, even if you get something like above a step above, entry level. Like there's probably been 24 people that have asked me over the past 5 or 10 years, like, I want to get a turntable. I'm like, okay, you want to get a turntable? Do you have a receiver? Do you have speed? They're like, whoa, I just want a record player. I'm like, I can't help you then. Like, I can't really.
Just
direct
them
to
the one by
Crosley?
one.
Come on now.
Or a Crosley with built-in
that's what I'm saying.
speaker.
Go to Walmart and get Crosley. So like all of this becomes, to me, this is just a luxury hobby. It's sad to say it. I'm not like happy about it. It just is.
Well, I mean, it kind of is, right? Because you can access music for almost free now, right? I mean, it's like, go get yourself a subscription to Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever, and you're set. If anything other than that is going to be a little bit of a luxury. By the way, I think we should all go back to Napster immediately. And when is Napster going to start pressing records, man? Come on, let's talk about nostalgia. Late 90s?
Cut from the original MP3s.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Like, I'm gonna call Crosley. I'm like, can we release the Groove Seeker model? And then he'll stop hating, or promoting these amplifiers. He'll be promoting the Groove Seeker. Crosley, the best.
We'll have an Audiophile rainbow on it.
That's right. There you go. Now we're talking.
So just a little teaser, Jason and Groove Seeker, grab that link out of the private chat so that you don't miss out here. And then I will drop the link in the chat. In a few minutes, we're going to jump into a little would you rather game. luxury vinyl versus cheap heat edition. And you guys are in the game as always. There's a cool leaderboard and all that stuff. So I think this would be a cool way to kind of wrap up. Any final words on this? I mean, look, I want to make it clear. This isn't me hating. It's fun talking about stuff like this. I mean, this is for somebody. You know, I'm not that level. I'm not someone that can go out. If I spent $800 on a record, I would have to find myself an apartment the very next day because my girlfriend would just, you know, she'd have all my stuff, my turntable and all my $10 records would be on the curb, waiting for me when I got home. So, but look, there is, you know, just because I drive a Honda doesn't mean there's not people out there driving a Tesla or a BMW or a whatever, Ferrari. So this is for those turntablists.
I drive a Nissan because I buy records, like so, and like
you pick your poison.
You know, if I had the endless ability and money was no object, I would totally buy these reissues or boutique issues. Number one, because why not? I'm just going to buy everything that comes out. But number two, like they seem that you can get your investment back if you don't like it. It seems that way. It seems like they're resellable.
It's a good point.
So it is. It's not that it's not a lot of money, but it's liquid. It seems liquid, and it's probably more liquid than any other reissue right now in the marketplace.
So if they're only selling like 300 to 450s of these, and they sell out immediately, is that manufactured hype? Why don't they press more of these if there's more people to buy them?
It's probably the licensing, you know.
Licensing, okay,
and maybe the process.
Yep. Like I didn't say this, but the covers for these ERCs are fantastic. Like the Vashti Bunyan Diamond Day like album cover, like it did not match, of course, the OG, but there was like a quality to that ERC. Like their version, that reissue, it was just magical. What can I say? Like that was a well done reissue. You know, again, like that one, you either
when you say that, is it that much better than some other audiophile pressing that you might have heard? Like, is it like, does it stand out to you as just the pinnacle of all vinyl? Any other reissue, nothing else stands up to it? Or could you compare it to like a UHQR or a MoFi or something like that? Does it blow that stuff out of the water somehow?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
Sure. Because, I mean, I hate to say it, like you're buying with Rev, don't get mad at me, you know, Chatty Cakes, you know, he makes a box for those records. Maybe the only time I'll ever agree with Mazzy here, like the box, it's a bit of gimmick, you know. It's a play off the old RCA classic series, you know. It's not original, right? And plus with the Doors, you got a flimsy LA Woman, like that's kind of, I don't know, man. 125 for a flimsy LA Woman and no hologram. You got to be joking. Let's be honest.
Well, I want to. Hey, are we getting a sticker with this too? Are we getting a hype on this one like Jason has? I don't have the hype on mine. I know Jay has the hype. We better be getting a hype sticker on this at least, right? No,
it's just like I don't know. Like they didn't show it. You know, they possibly could. I mean, if they had reissued the Skull and Roses record, right, and they gave
with
you the sticker,
yeah.
Like I would be impressed. I'd be like, "Oh man, doing it
that
right."
might actually put me over. I'd probably spend $800 for that sticker.
I don't think the sticker is important because it's not for Deadheads. This release.
Oh yeah, I mean, you might be right there.
Well, it maybe it's for Deadheads who saw their last show in '87 and then started working out Wall Street. Maybe it's like that type of Deadhead.
Donald at the hype says, "Congrats, sucker." I'm sharing the link, guys. I'm just sharing it again. So tap on that. I know nothing's going to happen yet until I start this game, but that's going to get you all teed up to jump into this Would You Rather game, which we're going to run here momentarily. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. I want to make sure that I'm messaging that out to everybody. Anyone else with another mic drop? I feel like we've mic dropped this thing about 7 times already. But final thoughts.
Get the ERC if you love the music. and money is no, it's not an issue.
Money's
right?
no object. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying like, don't do ERC because they used Sharpie on the white stripes. That shouldn't taint your your opinion of them, I mean, even though I don't own the ERCs anymore, I enjoyed them, Even though there was too much bass on the Gil Scott Heron, that thing still sounded excellent, There's nothing wrong, with too much bass, I guess,
Well, when you guys said these come with seam splits and Sharpie and whatever, like just like any
Whatever.
other plebe record, I was like, wait, no, I thought this was delivered by an angel or something,
Well, no, I mean, people who say that, they're trying to find little things and maybe, I don't know, like, no offense to the person, like, who are saying these things or, of course you would want perfection for spending $500 on a record, let's
Absolutely.
be honest here, that's not going to change that, right? But issues do happen. Like, you're not going to go to the Discogs review for an ERC and see 10 people complaining about seam splits. No way. You're going to hear, like, if it sounds good or not,
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that link, Concert Buddy. Appreciate you. Chris, didn't mean to interrupt you. What's your final words?
If I had unlimited money, I'd buy them all. But although I don't think I'd buy this one. Like, I don't get it. They could have done so many other.
It seems like a weird one.
It's just it seems like a weird one, and I'm skeptical because it's still out there. It's not sold out yet. I'm skeptical because there was nothing. I didn't check the forums yet, but there was nothing from the Dead marketing team. There was nothing on their socials. Just find that weird. But hey, and there's a lot other better. I know it's not a complete show, but there's 1,000 other Grateful Dead live compilations or shows that you can pick from that blow that thing out of the water. So it's all good. I'm not getting it.
That's a
Unless I
little
hit
too
the
strong.
lotto.
You keep
It's
coming
not,
strong
though.
with blowing it out of the water. This is a great record.
I also think there's post-production stuff on 72, isn't there?
This is Rojas's favorite Grateful Dead album. Am I right, Rojas?
That's
one
part of the
them.
problem. It's part of the problem. There's no Wharf Rat on there.
What? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, he's
You know
got to
what's
have
on
more.
this record? Brown-Eyed Woman. Get out
Cumberland Blues.
Not even the
of here.
best
Ramble on
Brown-Eyed Woman.
Rose.
Not even the
Outta
best
here.
Ramble on Rose. Come on.
Uh,
I'm just playing. No, it's cool. Go for it if you want to. I'm not
All right,
hating
go
on
for it
it
if
at
you
all.
want to. That's the final word. We just spent an hour just to let you guys know that, hey, you should pick this up if you want to. All right, let's wrap up the stream proper. Of course, if you're here live, don't go anywhere. We have a fun game coming up. I'll share the link one more time. You guys can jump in on this. If you're listening in the podcast, want to appreciate you. Thanks for being here. This has been the Surface Noise B-side. And don't forget to click that other link. That will be called the freestyle, probably, even though some people would dispute whether this is a freestyle. I'm not going to claim it's a freestyle, but we'll see. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you guys next time. And now we go into the...
I'm gonna just quote this to Groove Seeker. Brown-Eyed Woman and Red Grenadine. The bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean.
Liquor was clean.
Sound of the thunder with the rain pouring down, and it looks like
the old man.
It's getting on.
Absolutely.
Come on,
Yeah.
now. That's on your 72.
I mean, this has
Get
Morning
out of here.
Dew, dude. Walk Me Out in the Morning Dew. Don't. I mean, and the best version of it. You got to admit, this is the best version of Morning Dew.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Doodles.
I want to address this freestyle thing.
Link is coming your way, guys.
freestyle.
One more time.
It is a freestyle. If it was unscripted, it'd be a jam session. Freestyles aren't always unscripted. They're not always off the top of the head. Actually, most of them aren't.
Fair point.
All right. I'm from New York. I know.
All right, here we go. I'm going to hit the start button, and then I'm going to show the screen. Vinyl Records, Luxury versus Cheap Heat. Here we go. And away we... Hold on, let me share screen.
What's cheap heat like? Used records. I'm not down with the VC lingo.
You know what's funny is somebody mentioned that yesterday on the stream I did with Brandon. They were like, "Oh, cheap heat, cheap heat," and then today Chance said cheap heat. I'm like, okay, I guess I need to jump on the cheap heat bandwagon.
I thought Cheap Heat was a wrestling podcast, and I don't even watch wrestling.
You want? I'm going to give you an example of cheap heat. All right, let me wait for this to load up. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
dig out some cheap heat for us, Jay. Everybody, this is much more interesting if you can watch the stream and play the game. We're going to show the your guys' scores, and we'll have a leaderboard and all that stuff. So I should have mentioned that prior. But and if you can't play along, all good. Play along in the chat. Always, you gonna pull something up, Jay, or?
I was gonna say like cheap heat would be me telling you that. Oh my gosh, it's a joke.
SOS band is cheap heat. I mean, come on, man. You gotta have baby. You can do it. Take the time, do it right, and it's like $10.
No, cheap heat is like me saying the Groove Seeker. Man, if you buy Go to Heaven, Grateful Dead, best ever cheap heat. You know, I don't know about that.
He's not a true deadhead. He wanted me to christen him a deadhead, but he's done nothing but naysay this whole show.
No, my whole thing is I love the Dead, but I'm not a Deadhead. I never saw Jerry. And Europe 72 is overrated.
Oh God, let's move on. Okay. Folks, two things here. Timing is a factor, so act fast, but also be correct. It is scored, so you get points by getting the voting along with the majority, and then you get extra points by your speed. So would you rather own one UHQR release of your favorite album or own a full shelf of Walmart $15 exclusives? I already know what Rotas is going to say.
Own a few shelf of Walmart $15
exactly.
exclusives. Dang.
You're a liar.
Right. They're going to be all Sabrina Carpenter exclusives. There you go, VC.
Ross, I got the pre-sale. I got the pre-sale code, so let me know like what city you want to go to. We'll go.
Oh man.
Get this bigger. Okay.
When is that? When is that? That's in October or August?
It's in our dreams in October.
Oh, man.
So what did you guys pick? You guys pick UHQR?
Yeah.
Of course. Wow, you would never deface your record shelves with a Walmart record, right?
Can I tell you
I think
why?
it's fair.
I'll tell you why. Because everything that is on Walmart exclusive, I probably already have in some other form. So
okay. All right. 4 people, respectably, said they would get the $15 exclusives. Let's continue. Oh, game's not working. Felipe, try, I don't know, maybe try closing out and jumping in again. Felipe's fired this game, by the way. You don't want to miss this. He's usually top of the leaderboards. All right, here we go. Next round. There we go. David Nelms, Johnny Fever, Deshaun, top 3. Next up, would you rather buy one MoFi One Step for $125 or buy 5 Blue Note Classics for the same price? You go in the MoFi One Step. In other words, this goes back to the whole luxury or cheap heat. Those classic series sound great. They are very respectable. Or are you going for the MoFi? These aren't all jazz questions, by the way. There are a few in here, but Vinyl and Kicks, buy 5 Blue Notes Classics. Vinyl Dreamscapes passing on both Walmart and UHQR. He only going for the ERCs. All right. We'll end the round just in case someone's missing. I think this thing will just continue to sit there until everybody votes. But if someone hasn't voted, then we're just going to move forward. Ooh, there you go. 18 going for the Blue Note Classics. 3 are going for the MoFi. What'd you guys say?
I went for the MoFi because if it ain't cut by RVG, Rudy Van Gelder, then this ain't real. Why did I say that? Because Rudy Van Gelder, he produced it, he engineered it, and he cut it. So he knew when he moved the mic
with one
this
speaker.
way, when he moved the mic this way, he knew that's the way the bass is supposed to sound, away from the piano. And when he cut the record, he also knew, right? I don't want too much bass on this. I want this, to shine out more because he's the piano player, right? This is this is a piano player jazz record. Like he knows, you know, and nobody questioned him, you know. So now people are questioning him on a Blue Note classic. Get out of town.
And he's not even here to defend himself. Oh,
May the ghost of Broody Van Gelder haunt you forever.
I like
right,
to
dude.
rebuttal. I like to rebuttal there.
go
Good.
for it.
Good.
But Rudy remastered the Blue Note catalog 2 other times.
Because that was not the real Rudy Van Gelder. That was a clone of Rudy Van Gelder that was made in 1980 with the DSD step. There you go.
There
Fair.
you go. Controversy in the
bad.
VC.
My
Tubelandia,
bad.
here's the link. Welcome. Anyone else
Well, I
just
mean-
joining, click that. I'm pretty sure you can still jump in on this.
I mean, fair enough. People are buying those. Like, again, nothing against the classics. Like, if that's what you can get, then that's what you get, you know? No worries.
Yeah, I think they're such a bargain, man, for the price. I mean, and you can get them on sale for less than $30. I mean, they're just great value in my opinion.
Don't buy
Right.
them tomorrow, though. Don't buy them tomorrow.
Johnny Fever. Is Johnny Fever, that's the name of the guy in WKRP, right? You guys remember that show? Anyone? I just started watching that on YouTube, man. Reruns, dude. I'd forgotten how cool that show actually is. So thanks for being here, Johnny Fever, the ghost of Johnny Fever in the house. Okay, would you rather? Sorry, I know time is a factor. Own the entire Music Matters 45 RPM series. I'm so sorry. The first few are a little jazzy. Or own the entire Classic and Tone Poets series. I should have said buy, because a lot of these Music Matters are going to be north of $100 easy, where Tone Poets and Classic are going to be, you know, probably average you $30.
Can I choose that middle part, that sliver between the orange and the purple, where it's like no man's land?
Am I
No
buying the
man, right
Music
here.
Matters? Am I buying the Music Matters at retail?
Oh,
Yeah, you're buying them. You're not retail. You're buying them at their current value.
Oh, that's silly. I won't do that.
All right, you guys voted. Let's end the round. Let me give it a few more seconds.
It's
Music
a tough,
Matters
it's
and SRX's Vinyl Piper. Yes, they sound
a tough
freaking
question.
great.
It's a tough question because a lot of titles they don't overlap. It's really a title question, I think.
I'm expecting Rojas to have
And by-
picked the Music Matters series, because he's going
By-
ERC.
By title, you can stream them on title in high res. Just want to throw that out.
Enough of you, Group Seeker. I'm going to mute
So
you in about 2 seconds.
So the thing is, I hit the middle for the no man's land. If you look real deep, you know, it's almost like you're taking acid and listening to a Grateful Dead record. You can see DOL between the orange and the purple, and my hand sort of slipped, and then it moved to the Classic and Tone Poet series. So there you go.
Vinyl Dreamscape taking that one original over both. Okay, OG in the house.
Yes.
If it was MMG at original retail, then MMJ. You talking about Michael Jackson? I don't know anything about Music Matters series, says Wyoming Dave. It's probably for the best. You'll go. I mean, I have like 2 copies, and they set me back, and I wouldn't want to see you, have to mortgage your house to like buy those. They're expensive now. This is a hard game.
If anybody wants a Blue Train, if anybody wants a Blue Train on SRX, let me know. You can have it.
There you go. We can broker that transaction right here. I only take 20%. Okay, here we go. Next question. Leaderboard. Kicks 86. Look at that, jumping in on that. Deshaun, Turquoise, Jason. All right. Would you rather get a limited electric record company release for 400? That's what we're talking about today. ERC for $400. That's for a single LP, or 40 VGs of bargain bin finds at your local record store. I already know what Jay's going to say.
Yeah, I chose in the middle. It's Blue
You
Note
don't get
Classics.
to choose the middle. Come on, Jay. Pick a side. Pick a side. Pat's Radio. DOL just joke bombed. Well, where's a DOL but joke? I missed it.
It's just, I don't know, the DOL. It's like a jazz reissue label.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, and most people claim it's garbage, and I think that would be my assessment as well, because I have had a couple. 40 VGs we're going with. So people like this is comforting. People like their music. They just want the music. They're not worried about, these super crazy high fidelity ERCs. Kicks 86. Commanding lead.
I chose the 40 VG so I could go skeet shooting with them because they're VG.
No,
Another thing you won't let in the house.
You chose the VG because you could throw it in the humdinger and then you'll sell them as VG plus. Get out of here.
Excellent plus minus.
Right.
Would you rather own every Tone Poet release? Man, I'm just realizing. Okay, I promise these aren't all jazz. Or be gifted one MoFi UHQR of your choice. MoFi UHQRs. Boy, I heard they're pretty special.
Especially what Dark Side of the Moon, perhaps, or even the most coveted, right, is the Sgt. Pepper's.
There you go. Some recommendations by Jay.
I have the Dark Side MoFi, Ross. You want it?
Nah.
Come on.
Would you trade all your Tone Poets for it, Jay?
I don't own any more Tone Poets.
No Tone Poets. There you have it, folks. ST says Tone Poets. 2 Blandia or 30 VG plus or 15 Excellence. Yes, I know. Gift of MoFi, Christopher Kibler, Tone Poet, J. Kell. Andy G says, what's up, Dave? So just passing that along to Dave. Me, myself, and my vinyl. So what does Jason Rojas clean his records with? No humdinger, obviously. It's all about the humdinger, right?
Humdingers in the world unite. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna press the button. Sorry if you didn't get your vote in. Here we go. 16 people say they want those Tone Poets. Again, very, I'm. This is restoring my faith in the VC right here. Kicks 86 back on top, 10-12. Turquoise Jason and Tap Records, top 3. Would you rather get a lifetime subscription to the Walmart Vinyl Club or press your own custom UHQR of your personal favorite? Ooh. Your own custom UHQR here. Just one record, but wow.
I keep on clicking on the live stream, and then I have to go to the tab I have open to actually click on the choice. So that's where
I know, I've done that too. I'm like, how come nothing's happening?
Lifetime subscription to Walmart Vinyl Club.
Wyoming Dave.
Exclusives, right?
Yes.
Flippable.
Right. Walmart exclusives. Absolutely.
Your custom UHQR personal favorites. What would you press? What would you press?
That's not fair. I was going to ask you first. So
Good
Spins,
question.
what would you press on UHQR?
That's a hard one. I mean, I'd probably pick. What would I pick? That's a good question. I would say Out to Lunch, but I really want to hold out for an OG of that. So I would say Thriller, but we already know what happened with Thriller. I don't know, man. I'm not a UHQR guy. I don't know. Madonna Like a Virgin. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Just to pass the mic on to someone else.
I would do a pressing of vocal sound bites of all my VC haters out there.
You are well loved in this space, Jay.
Groove Seeker, what would you do?
What would you do?
I don't know. I would do
Slower.
I would do Maggot Brain.
Oh,
Good
let's see.
choice.
There you go.
Good
Maggot. That's not a bad
There we
one.
go. Oh yeah, that would sell like within a couple days for sure. Sold
Yeah.
out.
Vinyl Dreamscape selected ambient works 8592. Ooh,
Wow.
that's pretty fire right there.
What a good choice right there.
That is a
Whoa,
good choice.
Dang.
All right, let's
It's
end it.
outside my wheelhouse.
21 people want that special UHQR. That's cool. That's cool. Turquoise, Jason, Tap Records, Felipe's in the house. He figured out how to get going. Watch out, everyone. All right, would you rather buy single rare ERC mono pressing or buy 10 craft small batch releases? Please tell me this is a little tougher a question.
Well, the thing is that ERC Love Mono, I believe that's a fold down. So.
Oh, the Love?
Yeah. You want to get it in stereo, in my opinion. Like, because
Gotcha.
you don't want to get a fold down. I don't know. Like, if you can't hear it, then maybe I should do a video on that, right? Love mono versus love stereo, and then maybe you could hear it, perhaps. Yeah.
There you go. Concert
'Cause I
Buddy, Walmart Record Club has the market cornered on Adele 30.
Tell Concert Buddy he can't wait till the craft small batch of Adele 30. Or even Adele 40. There you go, Concert Buddy.
Adele 40.
You know what would be a great UHQR? D'Angelo Voodoo.
You wish. Keep dreaming.
Ooh.
You wonder if they're going to get the tapes out for that, you know?
Even got choked up when you said it. Christopher Kibler
Yeah.
says he wants the 10 crafts. Let's do it. Let's end it. What are we going? Crafts or the single? What did you guys say? You guys going with the 1 ERC or the 10 crafts?
I chose the 10 crafts because hopefully you can get Adele 19, Adele 25, Adele 30, and then Adele 40.
I am the only person in the world who is a huge fan of that small batch series, so I would choose the 10. I don't know if anybody loves it as much as I do.
There we go. 18 said the small batch craft small batch releases. 6 said the 1 single ERC mono. And Jay Kell says the 10 craft as well. Okay, moving on. Tap Records in the lead, closely followed by Kicks and Unity. Would you rather own a Rhino 6 LP Doors box set, Jay?
This is easy.
Or a Walmart gift card for $200? What's it going to be?
This is easy. I made, when I sold my Rhino 6 LP Doors box set, they asked me,
You dirtbag.
they asked me like, so what's up with this? And then I wasn't gonna be that guy. Like, so you didn't watch my YouTube video? Like, nobody says that. Get out of here. Get out of town. But he asked, and then I gave him like I just told him like this one, that one, but this, like it's all well done, right? The covers, the artwork, even the insert, right? Like those are cool. And then I made a joke. Hey, try putting that record back in the sleeve. And then he struggled.
How do you sleep at night, Mr. Rojas? You stuck somebody else with that?
It's funny. It was funny. I mean, I sold to him like the records were outside the sleeve, and then he was like questioning, "Wait, why did you?" And then when he tried to do it, like he was just like, "Oh shit!"
And those Rhino high
You'd already exchanged some money.
I don't get it because those jackets are massive.
Correct. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's when you do too much, like you go too full audiophile, right? The stout and everything, and then you didn't really kind of measure like the inside, right? Does that make sense? You didn't really measure the flexibility or the the ease to put the record back in, That's
Record Hound, maybe I'll update my PC to Adele. Nice. I see what you did there.
Adele.
Wyoming Dave is using Adele right now. Nice, Dave. I won't give Walmart a dime, so half of these questions, yeah.
Well, my local, you can send them. You can trade the gift certificate for records.
13 said the Rhino Doors. Okay, there you go. In your face, Mr. Rojas.
I know. You don't have to watch my video. You don't have to watch that where I demolish, break.
Unity OC overtaking Turquoise 2, Joey 3, Deshaun, and then Felipe. Still in the mix, Felipe. All right. Would you rather own a factory sealed MoFi Dark Side of the Moon, a pricey record, by the way, or own an OG UK pressing of Dark Side of the Moon in BG Plus? I think that Dark Side is going for around 600 or something, right? It's pricey.
You're joking.
For a sealed
Nice head.
copy.
Somebody come take it from me.
Yeah, $600.
So, Groove Seeker, if that person takes you to 3 to 4 dinners at Peter Luger's, would that be the cost of a MoFi Dark Side of the Moon?
Depends on the person.
Oh, man.
Lots of love for the
that would
OG
be-
UK.
That would be like 2.5. Are we drinking or just dinner?
Maybe port wine at the end. There you go.
Ooh, Rojas, you aristocrat.
No question. We're going UK. Sealed blue triangle all day long. Woo. OG. Okay, I don't think this is even going to be a contest. You guys are saying OG, I take it? Jason's going to get his OG. Okay, I knew it. Here comes the blue triangle. The blue triangle.
Let's just go there. Let's not joke around here, right? Let's not pretend we were living in vinyl fantasy land, you know. This is for Turquoise Jason. There you go.
He's not just the owner, he's also a member.
That's right.
All right, let's see what the people say. They want that OG UK press.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Turquoise Joey, Deshaun, Felipe creeping up the leaderboard. Would you rather buy 20 sealed Target exclusives, buy your favorite $150 UHQR in VG? In VG, you want those clean Target exclusives, or do you want that? Yeah, VG UHQR. What'd you say, Jay?
My hand slipped, so I guess it's UHQR and VG.
Your hand slipped. Somebody bumped his elbow.
You can get brand new sealed UHQRs on the Acoustic Sounds website still. So what are we doing?
Jimi Hendrix, right?
Oh, that's the one. I wouldn't want it in VG.
You have to have it in VG, man. Sorry.
That's coming down in price. I saw a couple of sales below what I thought they'd go for. It's getting tempting.
Interesting.
just
Some are
leave it
saying
out.
go the UHQR route. Some are saying I can't do a VG. Sorry, Jay. What'd you say?
I'm just saying you can throw the VG in the humdinger, and that's gonna make it VG plus plus. You'll see. You'll see.
Get the VG, guys, and send it to Jason. He'll return it back to you in near mint condition.
Right.
All right. Is this stream sponsored by Target and Walmart? I wish. Okay, buy your favorite 150 UHQR. That was very even. So we had 12 said UHQR and VG. 11 said get those sealed Targets. Just trying to make a point here, guys. It's not sponsored, but we're going luxury versus cheap. Turquoise, Joey, Kicks, Unity, Deshaun. Oh, where's Felipe? Where's Felipe? All right. Would you rather only buy Vinyl Me Please pressings for the rest of your life?
Oh,
Or only buy MoFi reissues? So what do you want? You want the digital step, or do you want some Vinyl Me Please, man?
I gotta.
I know
step
what
out. I'll be
Jose
back.
would say. He wants that sweet digital step, but he's
I
not
bet
here.
you Rick James Street Songs MoFi. I'm pretty sure that'll be that sweet DSD, you know.
I just got a near mint of that for $8.
Ooh.
Great.
Nice. That's a
Now
essential
that is
record.
cheap heat right there.
Is someone going to win a gift card? Maybe. We need a sponsor. If we do get sponsored by Target, I will definitely be giving out gift cards. So if you guys want to put in the good word for me, talk to your local Target. Ask them, you guys know who Spins Vinyl is? He needs a sponsor. MoFi, neither. I'd stop collecting records. It says Vinyl Dreamscape. VMP, ouch.
I'm gonna go MoFi because chances are I'm gonna live longer than VMP.
Let's hope. Concert Buddy, I'd
Yeah.
rather buy 20 UO clearance records than sell them on Discogs back at MSRP to unsuspecting buyers because, see, you're gaming the system now, Concert Buddy. That's not allowed. All right, let's Let's hit the switch. What do we got? 14 want those MoFis. 7 are okay with the Vinyl Me Please.
That
The rest of you.
if
If it
somebody
was a
on the
year ago,
board-
you
if-
guys would have said Vinyl Me Please. Be honest.
No, it would have to be
No.
5 years ago. If someone on the VMP board is watching this stream, you need to
We
do
love you.
something for your company. This is
That's
the
right.
answer.
Hire me. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be cutting some records. We're gonna be listening. We're gonna have VMP parties, right? VMP parties.
Disco Devil with the line of the night. This is like asking, would you rather get punched in the face or kicked in the nuts?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Hey, come on. Hey, then I've done my job. I've done my job if that's true, Disco. All right, here we go. Turquoise Joey kicks Felipe back in. He is coming from behind, man. Okay, here we go. Would you rather own every ERC reissue up to including Europe 72? I showed the list earlier for those that were paying attention, and we looked at all the ERCs. Or own a near mint copy of a Turquoise Led Zeppelin 1. Not even Mr. Rojas has a near mint copy,
No, I don't.
although he does have that blue logo.
Yes.
Led Zeppelin's so overrated. This was so easy.
It's not even the best version of Led Zeppelin 1. It's the Jimmy Page reissue.
Right. Late breaking news. It even beat out a reel to reel.
It did?
Well, that's what the guy said. I mean, I don't know. Gosh.
Yeah, I saw you shared that. I'm not. I don't know. Are you trolling or do you really think that? Because I think the remaster sounds better. I do.
Well, my friend who shared me this Facebook, for the people in the chat, there was a Facebook post about the guy was showing off his Led Zeppelin 1 and 2 collection, and he compared the UK second press with the remaster, and then I think he had 2 different tapes. He had a CD, whatever, and
Right.
he said at the end
Full arsenal.
that the remaster was the best. And my friend, an old roommate, was trying to push me to troll that chat. And I was like writing him back, I'm not going to troll a bunch of boomer audiophiles on this. Absolutely
How
not.
dare you? Vinyl and Kicks, ERC, Andy G, ERC, Stereo, ERC, Christopher Kibler, ERC, Vinyl Dreamscape, ERC, Mr. Sticker Mania, Led Zeppelin Turquoise is an artifact. I think Jay just agreed with you on that. J. Kell, ERC, ERC, ERC. All right. What do the people say? Ooh.
Wow.
12 to
Damn.
10 going for
I
that near
didn't-
mid LZ1.
I did not see that coming.
Crazy.
All right. Oh, well,
Oh,
Turquoise, number 1. Joey, Felipe.
Oh,
Woo, look at Felipe go. All right. Would you rather have your current setup and collection and your current collection minus any ERCs that you might own? So if you do own them, you got to get rid of them. Or would you rather have a $100,000 setup, but only have ERCs in your collection like Chris would? But you can only have the ERCs. So what are there, 100 titles or something? I don't know. I showed them before. But you get that kick-ass stereo to play them on.
what you talking
pair-
about, Willis?
Right, to paraphrase the Rev here, ERC means divorce remastered. Come on now.
Divorce Records Company. On that last one, Disco Devil, another punch in the face or kick in the nuts. Question right here. Might have to go with the ERC because Zeppelin might be that bad. Oh, wow. Disco Devil. I'm going to give you one chance to take it back. Vinyl Piper, LZ Turquoise sounds fine. Splitting hairs, you pay the money for the historical aspect. Tublandia, that tape was a 3 3/4 IPS, so not really a true tape master, which would be 15 IPS. Good point. So what do we?
I think it's funny if I get my Led Zeppelin signed by Robert Plant,
Oh my
Jimmy
God!
Page, and John Paul Jones. I want them to write, Jason Rojas is the leader, the true leader of the VC. Right? And then I would show it all the time, and that would probably piss everyone off. So I
Well,
would
here's
take it
a
to
trivia question
next
for you,
level.
or a question for you, Rojas. You're going to get that turquoise signed by the living members of Led Zeppelin, but they get to take a knife and just carve right into that sucker, so it's unplayable.
It's good to know that the real record is not even in there when I get it signed.
Oh, look at this guy. He's going to cheat the system.
He's gonna put it in the humdinger.
You're no better than
That's
Conquer
right.
Buddy. You guys are
I
gaming
mean, most
the
people
system.
don't know. It's not even in Discog spins. Like, there's no difference between the first and the second pressing. The only difference is the cover. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I compared it. I'll do another comparison video. I'll prove it. And you can listen if you want to and trust your ears, or fall for hype. Whatever.
Overrated.
Vinyl James Dreamscape keeping the current setup in the system. Christopher Kibler, same thing. Stereo going for the 100K setup. Can live with those ERCs. These questions are crazy. Thank you, Vinyl Kicks. Current setup and collection, current setup, etc. And let's find out what the people said. 14 are keeping their current setup. No surprise. 8 people going for that 100K. I know the 100K plus people that voted for that think that there's a cheat code somewhere and they can get something other than an ERC on that turntable. I'm telling you, it will only play ERCs. All right.
I'm just saying, 2 cross
Felipe is in second place
seekers
now.
with rainbow Audiophile cartridges.
They're just lined up along the tone arm, man. One
That's
after
right,
the other.
That's right.
Red, blue, brown, black. Okay, would you rather have a sealed OG of Grateful Dead's Europe 72 to be current and topical, or would you rather have a sealed ERC reissue of Grateful Dead's Europe 72? You want the OG sealed, or do you want that ERC for $800? And no flipping. You got to keep it. You got to keep it.
That changes my answer.
Well, we got to make them harder.
Sealed ERC reissue. Oh man.
I don't.
Sealed OG
Oh.
says JK. I hope I'm getting that right. JKL, JKEL 913. Vinyl and Kicks. I would like to hear the ERC Europe 72. It would be nice to hear it. Maybe Group Seeker will pick one up. I think he's in a cave. It depends on how long before these things sell out.
Nah.
It's
Red
interesting,
Sound
dude.
wants the OG.
Unless
Go ahead,
somebody
sorry.
buys my MoFi Dark Side, maybe I'll think about it.
It's sealed?
I'm with Too Blandia. The flipping situation changes it because we'd all take the ERC and flip that ish.
Exactly. Well, that's why it's not fair. I don't want to just have people just take the most expensive choice and then flip it.
Well, you shouldn't be buying it to flip. I don't know. Like, if you're buying that to flip and not even gonna listen to it, well, man,
Yeah.
your priorities are different than mine.
Do you have any sealed records, Rojas?
I used to have actually a couple sealed Elton John unis that I sold a long, long time ago. Usually I just sell them. I don't know. I don't keep them. Like, they were
You have
meant
any
to be
sealed-
played.
What about you, Spins? Do you have any sealed records?
I mean, I do, but it's just it's stuff I'm never going to listen to that I just picked up cheap and that people would just laugh at. Like, I have a sealed Raiders of the Lost Ark from my childhood that there's no reason to open it. It's like, it's not the soundtrack, it's the movie on record with like dialogue and stuff, and it has the booklet inside. So yeah, it's going to stay sealed as long as I own it.
So do you still have that sealed Bay City Rollers greatest hits you were talking about a couple weeks ago? I'm just
Who?
messing with you.
Oh, I was like,
But I just you really got to highlight Easy Now's comment. This guy's a genius. I love it.
Skull and Roses. Well, I've already said that. Me and Rojas almost had to like throw hands because of that. if you guys remember from an earlier stream.
Easy Now's way into the wharf rat,
That's
Come
right.
on now.
Rip it and flip it, says Record Hound. So many minty greenies out there. Why bother with a sealed one? Okay, here we go. This is, by the way, final questions coming up. So if you're looking to gain some ground on the leaderboard, this is the one. Have a sealed OG, says 13 over 7. Oops. And next. Turquoise. Felipe is making a final run. Joey, Unity, Tap Records. Let's get it. Last round, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have a sounder? I don't know. Would you rather buy a sealed Stooges Funhouse for $700+ or buy the complete Stooges OG catalog in VG Plus? So you're going to go for that ERC that's now selling for $700? for Funhouse, or do you want the whole VG catalog for V and VG Plus? Really, Concert Buddy, working hard over there, man. He's going for a triple double.
Messed around, I got a triple double.
Woo! Messing around, exactly. Not even LeBron is hitting too many triple doubles these days, man. J. Kell going for the Complete Stooges catalog. Mark Boyd, OG. Me, Myself, and Vinyl going for the VG Pluses. Mark Boyd helped a friend sell an OG sealed Pet Sounds at the Austin Record Convention in 08. Ooh, nice. Was it mono or stereo?
Duophonic, you mean?
Oh yeah, right, yeah. I have a sealed Bowie Ziggy, the motion picture soundtrack that's been on Discogs for 3 years.
That's a great comment.
Yep. Messed around and got triple W. The OG says Vinyl Dreamscape. When did the Three Stooges record albums? Am I out of the loop?
Tap Records.
Tap. I mean, you guys are coming in hot today.
That's insane. Terry. Dang.
Good stuff. All right, let's do it. Let's see who's going to take down, who's going to get bragging rights for this special edition of Luxury Vinyl versus Cheap Heat. Would you rather? Drum roll, please. 14 sang the Stooges OG catalog in VG Plus. And the final results are... By the way, Groove Seeker and Jason Rojas not ranking. But we've got Turquoise taking it down. Felipe, a respectable second place. Unity in the OC coming in clutch in third. Joey, Tap Records. AA's in there. Deshaun, Andy G, BKOL, and Johnny Fever in the house tonight. Hey, I've been watching you on YouTube the last few nights, man. I'm loving the that shows, man. It's like, I mean, look, it is as good as modern television, probably not, but I'm having fun revisiting WKRP. So there it is, guys. Thanks so much for playing. Let's see. I think we got more leaderboard here. We got Kicks 86, Gonolith, Zerdo, Jason Rojas, respectable at 14. Rojas, oh, Groove Seeker overtaken by Rojas. Look at that, by 11 points.
Oh,
woo! Soda Stereo, Paul McClellan, I'm not sure what else that says. David Nelms in the house, David H. and the Freight. Shout out everybody for playing. Oh, we're still going. Music in the house, Vinyl Piper, Tublandia, Tim, Kevin, and OJCs, guys. Shout out all of you. Thank you so much for playing. I hope that was fun. We'll do another one the next time I see you here on Surface Noise, the B-side. J. Kell, okay, stupid question, but I'm new. Is this game that's played often fun as hell, J. Kell? Thank you so much. I'm moving you to the top of my favorite list. And yeah, I try to do something like this. We do we do different things. I just, I think it's fun to get the, you guys involved and play, sometimes I'm not at the top of my game. Some questions are better than others, but yeah, always try to do something fun at the end of these shows. Jason, Groove Seeker, any final words on today's show? You heard it here first, folks.
I had a lot of fun, and I have a MoFi Dark Side of the Moon for sale, and I'm gonna push records like some others do on YouTube, and Led Zeppelin's overrated. That's my final thought for the freestyle.
So let's see how many killer bands and albums had Groove Seeker crapped on today. So we have the Grateful Dead, we got LZ. Anyone else you want to crap on Groove Seeker? You need a trifecta. Who else sucks?
Let's see.
The Cure. Do you want to say The Cure?
No. I'm just kidding. They're not overrated, and I love the Dead. The Foo Fighters. I want to crap on them.
Who?
The Foo Fighters.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to show record. ERC, if you're watching, here's a good choice for you. Okay? Here's a good choice.
Buckingham Nicks, for those that can't see it.
Yes. Okay? Hasn't been reissued. Do it. This will sell out. I'm just trying to help. Or VMP, if you're watching, all is forgiven. Just this title. Okay?
Final Kick said add Journey. If one thing Groove Seeker knows, he stays away from Journey, man, because he knows that you're not going to see him on B-sides anymore, and you'll wonder why, and that would be the one reason.
Not even worth my time. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was on mute.
You will be. All right. No one's safe from the Groove Seekers' concert, buddy. Joey Taber's great record, Rojas.
It is. It's a good one. It's a good one. Come on now. This is a no-brainer reissue. You know, come on.
That would be a good choice for ERC's first splatter vinyl.
We need some splatter love. Well, maybe we'll get one for Record Store Day. All right, you guys. First of all, thanks to Jason Rojas and Groove Seeker for holding it down today. We had a small little intimate little gathering here, but I think it went nicely. I appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, everyone in the chat, thanks for being here. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to be here next week when Chance will be back hosting the A-side. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Everyone have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.